WWE Wrestlemania 40 takes place this weekend in Philadelphia. Night one will see the Tag Team Championships defended in a six-pack challenge match. We're going to see the WWE in-ring debut of Jade Cargill. Gunther will be taking on Sami Zayn as he defends his Intercontinental Championship. Rhea Ripley will be taking on Becky Lynch as she defends her Women's World Championship. And night one of WrestleMania 40 is going to be a bit of a family affair, as we're going to see Rey Mysterio team with Buddy Dragon Lee and take on his son, Dominic Mysterio, and former LWO running mate, Santos Escobar. We're also going to see only the third ever brother versus brother match, as Jey Uso will take on his twin brother, Jimmy Uso. And in the big main event of night one, we are going to see the WWE in-ring return of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as he teams with his cousin Roman Reigns to take on Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins. The winner of this match determines whether or not the main event of night two, which is going to be Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, if that's going to be a Bloodline Rules match or not. So if Roman and The Rock can beat Cody and Seth, then the main event of night two is going to be a Bloodline Rules match as Cody takes on Roman. Other matches on night two, we're going to see Io Sky defend her Women's World Championship versus her former Damage Control buddy Bayley. And we're also going to see the U.S. title defended as champ Logan Paul takes on both Randy Orton and Kevin Owens in a triple threat match. Seth Rollins also has a night two match to go along with his night one tag team match. He is going to be defending his title, his world heavyweight title, versus the bitter Scotsman Drew McIntyre. And, of course, we'll have the big main event. We're going to see if Cody can finish his story and take home the undisputed world championship and walk out of Philadelphia with it. And he's going to take on Roman Reigns, the long-reigning champion Roman Reigns. And we're going to talk about it right here, right now on the Jayson A. Mark Wrestling Report. I'm Jayson Currier, and if you could please give us a like, and don't forget to subscribe. There is a ton of matches coming up this weekend, and we've got a lot to get to here, so we're just going to dive right into it. We're not only going to be predicting winners and losers, but I'm going to try to guess about the way the card is going to play out and the order of the matches as well. So night one, I believe, is going to be kicked off with the Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio match. I think that's a good way to kick things off. Should be a fun match. Should be an exciting match. All four of these competitors can really go in the ring. Of course, Dominic has the big monster heel heat. There's literally nobody in the business that's got heat like Dominic Mysterio does right now. So this one should be a fun way to kick off WrestleMania 40. And I think that Rey and Dragon Lee will probably take this one. This is one that's probably going to have a lot going on. There's probably going to be some bodies coming in that aren't in this match. We're probably going to see some LWO, some former LWO, some Legado del Fantasma. We're probably going to see a lot of bodies in this match. So the next match that I think is going to be on the card is going to be the six-pack tag team ladder match. I think that they could start the show out with this one. Ladder matches tend to kind of take a little bit of time to play out anyway. And a six-pack ladder match is definitely going to take some time. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch, but it's going to take some time. So they could open the show with this one. I could definitely see them opening up with this one because it's going to be a fun watch. So it should be really exciting. The tag team champions, Damian Priest and Finn Balor, are going to be taking on R-Truth and The Miz. DIY, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. The New Day are going to also be in this match. Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston will be representing the New Day, with Big E still being out with the neck injury. I don't know if we're ever going to see Big E in the ring again, unfortunately, and unless we see him this weekend, which we could. That would be exciting if they threw the old curveball and instead of Xavier and Kofi, they put Big E in this match. I have no idea if he's even remotely healthy enough to do that, but that would be fun. The other entrances in the 6-pack challenge match will be Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, and Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. I think that the New Day have a really good chance to walk away with a win here. They have, I noticed on both Raw and SmackDown, they've been playing up the New Day as a team have never been successful at WrestleMania. Kofi obviously had Kofi Mania, so he's had his WrestleMania moment, but the New Day as a team, they have not had their WrestleMania moment, and I think that they mentioned that on TV for good reason, and I think that we're going to see the New Day walk out of WrestleMania 40 with the tag team belts. And the next match that I think is going to be on the card, I think they're going to dust off Jade Cargill here, and they're going to have her make her big in-ring debut. She's going to be tag teaming with Naomi and Bianca Belair as they take on Damage Control. Obviously, I think it's pretty obvious that they're not going to hang Jade Cargill with an L, even in a tag team match in her first match. Not only is it her big WrestleMania debut, but this is her in-ring debut for WWE. No chance that they're going to have her drop this match in any form, even if she's not the one eating the pin. I don't believe. So I think that Team Cargill will come out on top of that one. The next match that I think is going to be up on the card is going to be the brother versus brother match, as Jey Uso takes on his twin brother Jimmy Uso, his twin brother and longtime tag team partner Jimmy Uso. This is the third brother versus brother match again. The other two in WWE history were Brett versus Owen and Matt and Jeff Hardy. So I think that Main Event Jay is probably going to take this one. I also think, though, that this is going to be the first little hint of how much the Bloodline is going to be involved in WrestleMania 40. I think this is going to be a bit of a Bloodline mania. And this is going to be their first chance to kind of throw that out there. I think we're going to see a lot of outside involvement in this match. I do not think that this is going to be just simply Jey Uso taking on Jimmy Uso and it's going to be just a clean match and the two of them are going to just go at it and we're not going to see any kind of outside interference or anything. I think that we're definitely going to see that. I think we're absolutely going to see Bloodline members come in on this one. I think that Sami Zayn might get involved in this one. I think that Cody and Seth could get involved in this one. This has got a big outside interference potential in this one. So I think, again, Jey Uso will eventually come out on top of that one. But I think that it's going to be a little bit messy. Not because of the in-ring work, but because I think there's going to be a lot of outside interference in this one. The next match that I think is going to be coming up on the card, I think that Gunther versus Sami Zayn will be up next. Gunther is going to be defending his Intercontinental Championship. Gunther is the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion. And now that he's got that record, I could really see Sami taking the IC title here. Sammy's kind of lost a little bit of momentum from last WrestleMania. Obviously, they were peaking. So I think that Sammy, his character, needs an IC title win here. He needs to be the guy that gets over the hump and is able to beat Gunther and is finally able to get that title off of Gunther. I think that Gunther's title run is kind of ran its course. I love Gunther. I think he's been an amazing champ. But I think that they're ready to do some other things with him. I think that they're going to get him involved in the World Heavyweight Championship in some way. After WrestleMania, of course, after the Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins match on night 2. Going forward, I think that they're going to get Gunther involved in that. I think they're going to step him up a little bit and give Sammy a run with the IC belt. So my prediction there is Sami Zayn. I think that's going to be a fantastic match. This one has chance to be match of night 1, the best match of night 1. This is going to be one that Sami Zayn is absolutely incredible. Gunther's a stud himself. Gunther plays the big, strong heel unbelievably well, and Sami Zayn takes one of the best beatings in the business. So I think this one's going to be just fantastic. And again, I think that Sammy will walk out of Philadelphia with the IC strap. The next match that I think is coming up on the WrestleMania 40 card is going to be Becky Lynch taking on champion Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. I think that with the way that WWE has gone with Becky in the past, I think that we would probably see Becky win this here. But Rhea Ripley is just red hot. And I don't know if you can take the strap off of her. I wouldn't do it. But if anybody is, they would probably have Becky do it. This is one that I'm really split. It's going to be a just fantastic match. I can't wait to watch it. I think Rhea Ripley's going to defend her title here. But I also think that there's a strong chance that Becky Lynch could have another WrestleMania moment and walk away with the title. But I'm going to go with Rhea Ripley on this one. And the main event of the evening, I believe, will be, I don't think it's any secret. I don't think that I'm making any bold predictions here that this one's going on last. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson will be teaming with Roman Reigns to take on Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins. Again, the winner of this match, this is going to determine in night 2 if night 2 is a Bloodline Rules match. So an anything goes match is on the horizon if Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins can't defeat The Rock and Roman. I think that what they're going to do here is I think that Cody and Seth are going to take a hell of a beating in this. I think that it's going to be one of those things that they use it to play towards 2 different matches in night 2 when Seth takes on Drew McIntyre for the World Championship or the World Heavyweight Championship. I think that Seth is going to have some residuals from this match. And I think he's going to drop, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself here, but I think he's going to drop the title to Drew. And I think that he's going to place some blame on dropping the title in this match and in his involvement in this match and in his involvement with the Bloodline. And I kind of have a sneaky suspicion that maybe they might be turning Seth here. I think that maybe possibly Seth could eventually turn on Cody. And I don't know if they're going to do it on night 1. They might, but they might save it for night 2. I think night 2 is going to be a bit of a barn burner, and they might save that big bang for then. But I think that in sticking with just this match, I think that The Rock and Roman will beat the living hell out of Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Both of them, I think that they're going to do some damage to them too. And not only is the main event of night 2 going to be then the Bloodlines rules match, but I think that Cody's going to be damaged in that match from the match the night before this match. And I also think that Seth is going to be carrying some residuals from this match into night 2, and that's going to be a story there as well. So my pick for this one is having The Rock and Roman go over in what I believe will be the main event of night 1. On to night 2. I'm really not sure how they're going to jerk the curtain on this one. I have a feeling that it might be the LA Knight versus AJ Styles match because LA Knight is so over. I think that would be a nice way to kick off night 2. Give the crowd the guy that they love. But it could also, they could kick off night 2, really, I think, with 3 different matches. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus Final Testament, AOP, and Karrion Kross. I think that could go on first. If not, I think that they'll probably go on second. And then I think that probably the Io Sky versus Bayley match is probably going on third. They might kick off night 2 with the Io Sky versus Bayley match, but I'm not sure if that's the way they're going to go. I kind of have a feeling that's the route, and then they're going to go Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, and then they'll go with the LA Knight versus AJ Styles match third. Either way, whatever order that's going to be, LA Knight versus AJ Styles, I think that this is an LA Knight WrestleMania moment. This is his first WrestleMania, and I think that it's not going to take long for him to get a WrestleMania moment. He's super over, obviously, and he's still super over, and I think that they're going to kind of push that wave a little bit and ride that thing, and I think that LA Knight is gonna beat AJ Styles. I think that that's probably also how they're gonna open up night 2. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus Final Testament, AOP, and Karrion Kross. I think that this is one that Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. This is also, I think this is going to be super fun. You've got Street Profits that are a strong tag team versus the returning AOP. And then you got Karrion Kross and Bobby Lashley, who are both a couple of horses. They just going at each other, just them would be fun. Just that match would be fun individually. Street Profits versus AOP and Bobby Lashley versus Karrion Kross would be fun. I don't think that it's going to be any different when you combine them. So I think that this one should be a fun one. I see Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits going over in this one. And then in the Io Sky versus Bayley match, the Women's World Championship match, Io Sky will be taking on former friend and Damage Control teammate Bayley. I got a really strong feeling that Bayley's going to have her WrestleMania moment, and she's going to have her hand raised at the end of this one. And I believe that Bayley will be walking out of Philadelphia with a new belt. I think the next match on night 2 is going to be Logan Paul. It's going to be the U.S. title match, as Logan Paul, the champion, will take on Kevin Owens and Randy Orton in a triple threat match. I've got kind of a weird feeling that Logan Paul is going to walk out of this thing with the title still. going into it, one, I had forgotten that he was even the champ. I literally had to look up who's the U.S. champ. And turns out it's Logan Paul. I'm not meaning that as a detriment towards Logan. I think that he's a fantastic heel. He's a natural professional wrestler. He's fantastic. So I don't mean that as a detriment towards Logan. But he just hasn't really been around a lot. He's not on the weekly shows. So we haven't really seen the U.S. strap much. So I think even though we haven't seen a whole lot of Logan, I got a weird feeling that they're going to let him walk out of there with that title still. I would love to see Kevin Owens win it. I'd love to see Randy Orton win it. But I got a feeling that they're going to work into a program of Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens out of this. Now, that could be for the U.S. title, as they put the belt on either Randy or Kevin, and then work a program after that. But I kind of have a weird feeling that they're just going to keep the strap on Logan. For my prediction, though, I'm going to go with Randy Orton. I think that it's been a while since Randy had a strap, and a singles strap. And yeah, I think that's my pick. I think that might be my pick, is Randy Orton. And the next match that I think is going to be coming up on night 2. Now, this is one that I think they could have a little bit earlier in the card. I'm kind of surprised that they've got, well, I guess they kind of have to have this. I was going to say I'm kind of surprised that they're putting this on night 2, but they've got Seth wrestling on night 1 already, so obviously it has to be on night 2. But I think there's going to be something happening in this match. I think that I think Seth is going to lose the championship to Drew. But I think that Seth is going to place the blame of losing the title on his involvement with Cody and versus the Bloodline. And I think they're going to play up something there. So I think they could put this on earlier in the card, because the way I have it laid out is it's the second to last match, kind of a co-main event kind of a match. But they could put this one on earlier in the card just so that they can come back around in the main event, which is the next match, as Roman Reigns takes on Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship. I think that Seth is going to get involved in that somehow. I think that it will be a Bloodlines rules match. So we're going to see a heavy involvement with the Bloodline. We're going to see a heavy involvement with The Rock. We're going to see a heavy involvement with Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. I kind of have a weird feeling that they're going to break out another Bloodline member here. I also think that Seth is going to turn on Cody, and again, I think they're going to play it of, he's going to blame Cody for him losing his title. And then I think Cody is going to win the title. I think. But I also wouldn't be one bit surprised if something funky goes on in night 1 with the tag team match, and then a little extra funky happens when in the Rollins versus McIntyre match, and I think that Seth is going to lose his title there, and I think he's going to place blame on Cody. And in the Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes match, I think that we're going to again see tons of Bloodline involvement, but we're also going to see Seth turn on Cody. And with that, I think Oh, man. I almost don't want to say it, but I think that Roman's is going to walk out of WrestleMania with the belt still. I think they're going to keep it on him, and I kind of feel like they're going to have well, they already did Cody versus Seth, though. I was going to say I think that they're going to out of WrestleMania, they're going to pull Cody from finishing, quote unquote, finishing the story and that storyline, and they're going to steer him towards a program with Seth. But if Seth drops the World Heavyweight Championship to Drew and Cody doesn't win the WWE Championship, then what are they fighting for? Just because? Because we already know they hated each other. I don't know. So we'll go with this. We'll go with Cody Rhodes is going to win. He's going to finish the story. And then they're going to start the program with him versus Seth. Because I still think Seth's going to turn on him. And maybe we'll see The Rock turn on Roman. And then we'll get to see Roman versus The Rock at next Mania or SummerSlam, something like that. That could be a thing. Do the double Seth turns on Cody, but also the extra swerve is that The Rock then turns on Roman. I could see that. So that's what we're going to go with. We're predicting on the fly here. I thought that maybe Roman might win this because of Seth's involvement, and not necessarily because of the bloodline involvement, but because of Seth's involvement and him turning. But I think that's still going to happen, but I think we're going to see old Dwayne turn on Roman too. And I think that Dwayne's turn on Roman is going to be what puts the strap on Cody, what helps Cody finish his story. So that's it for the WrestleMania 40 Night 1 and Night 2 and my predictions. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Have fun watching this weekend. And don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. Thanks for listening, guys.